Konbanwa. Hello, hello, hello. Good evening, everyone. Hello, hello. Straight away with a sub. Thank you so much, Runwa. I've completely forgot. I met the person called Runwa in chat here the other day. They came around to Mokwankan and they told me how to pronounce their name and I've already forgot and I'm so sorry. It's Korean, I'm not sure. Anyway, I'm sorry. That was 3 of the most electric ads. Well, I tried to put them before, just when the stuff is on in the background, you know, just the starting soon screen. So hopefully it's like not too distracting. Then you only have one other ad, and so not bad. Welcome in, everyone. We have General Zimmer, Happy Ukes, Dan Squatch, Straight Edges here. Hello. First time seeing you here. Who else? Bizen City, still watching the video. Happy Ukes. Yeah. I hope we're all doing well. It's Friday evening for me. Let me just get my stream manager up. First things first. If anyone was hoping to get the Kamakura print, the video for the Kamakura is live right now. I set it live at 9 o'clock, so half an hour ago. The video is half an hour long. If you were in quick, maybe you could have watched it before stream. I know Bizen City was just finishing it up. And also, the Kamakura. Here is the link for the page to the Mokwankan website. There's not so many prints this time. I'm not trying to like quick everyone buy. Actually, that money doesn't come to me anyway. It's just nice. I'm trying to get the people who are actively following, give them as much opportunity to purchase the print before they sell out. It's so much. There's Patreon, there's the Discord, there's Instagram, there's YouTube. There's so many things I have to update every single time. It's a lot. So I was rushing before the stream to try and get everything banged out. I should have been a little bit more prepared. I scheduled the video and actually it was scheduled for tomorrow. So it didn't go up at 9, it went up at 9:02 because I figured out it hadn't gone up yet. I didn't know. I'll watch it tomorrow. Enjoy. Obviously throughout the thing, if people are dribbling in, well, those people aren't here yet, so it's probably pointless to say, but if you do have any questions about the video, something you saw that you didn't really understand, please ask away and I can help maybe clear some stuff up. It's interesting with the videos that I could work on them infinitely, and there's a bunch of stuff that I wanted to refilm, like revoice and redo this and redo that, but it just becomes too much and you just got to put it out. I don't post regularly enough anyway, and so if I spent any more time on it, I think we'd have no viewers at all. Anyway, let's get into this. If you're new here, welcome. My name's Taryn, Woodblock print carver. I am working on a bonsai print in collaboration with ASAN, and I actually did some work off stream for once. Ooh. The scroll is basically carved. I got round to, maybe I can flip this around for you. I carved the goat. The goat is all done. Even with this macro lens, it's a little bit tricky to see. But the goat is all carved, and we just have a little bit of bushes in the bottom, but I can do that off camera. And I think we'll start on a new area today, just to give some variety. The scroll's all carved. The only things I have left to do is there's a couple little dashes here, little dots, and the bottom, and these little dots, but everything else on the scroll is carved. Hello Walker, welcome in. So today I thought we could move on to some moss, hence the title of the stream. Yeah, so we're going to work down here today. We'll see how quickly it goes. Maybe we will move on to the pot. Let me just position this camera so we're nice and in framed. Where do I want it? I want it here. I thought I had positioned it, but I positioned it for the wrong section. You looking good? In focus? Cool. Do let me know. I noticed that when I was uploading one of the previous videos to YouTube, I played it right after another video, and it was like the audio was really quiet, my speaking. I've cranked it all the way up now, and I think it seems okay. You guys let me know if it's still too quiet, and I can see if I can maybe artificially boost it. But I think we're in the right place now. Did you carve those straight lines with a ruler or freehand? No, these are all wiggly. They all have taste in them. These are not straight lines. I drew them with a brush, and so I carved them freehand. Sorry about that. Very good video, but not sure about the drum roll though. Yeah, no, I wasn't. I should have taken that out. I put it there really early in, and I kind of liked it, and then it just didn't sound right, but I left it in. And you were right about streaming in Twitch right now. Yeah, and I said at the end of the video. Good. We won't, for the people who haven't seen it, I'm not going to reveal too much. The drum roll was a bit iffy though. Yeah, I know I should have taken it out. That's one of the things I was talking about, that you can spend ages doing stuff and then in the end you just make a snap decision and you put it out. Sorry if my voice is a little croaky. I have had a bit of a cold. Anyway, preamble over. We are done. All I need now is a little bit of oil. I use a little bit of a camellia oil just to get rid of any white fibers. And I tend to not put this straight on the block. These are really useful. I buy a big bottle of camellia oil. I put it in this little one I got years and years ago. I just refill this one. But if you just squeeze it straight on the block, you get a really big dollop, and I don't like it. So I put it on cloth first, and then I just wipe it on, and I can put just the right amount. Hello Vivid, welcome in. let's get carving. As always, give me a couple minutes just to settle in here. I tell you what I do need. I need my sample. Give me 1 second, let me get the reference. No collapse today, we're okay. You were all waited there with bated breath, I'm sure. Fingers crossed, hoping everything would fall again. This is the one I need. Yeah, so anyone who isn't familiar, I will put this up just now. This is the print we're carving. We're on the black lines, this is the key block. These are what define all the colour areas. Okay, let's get into it. I didn't check the bit. Okay. It seems a little dark, that. Ooh, sorry, earthquakes. I haven't got my second light set up properly. Are we okay? Still in focus? Barely. So when it's raining, usually my partner, she cycles to the station to catch the train to go to work in Mukwangan. You hid some of everything else. My bet is behind the camera. Oh, you mean from the cupboard? No. Behind the camera is just a window, a wall. Everything goes under the desk. That's the hiding spot. So when it's raining, I drive my partner to catch the train in the morning. And because she doesn't have a bike, I also pick her up in the evenings. So I started to make a post while I was in the car waiting. I pick her up from the station and then I drop her off just outside the daycare, and she goes and picks our son up. And while I was there, I started writing a post to sort of schedule that when it was time I could release it. And then they came back to the car halfway through me writing that post, just before I'd set up the schedule and before I'd copy and pasted all my text. And usually I write it in the notes app and then I paste it in. But I'd written the title and print available now at blah blah blah. And then they came back to the car and I put the phone in my pocket. And then we got home and I faffed around for a little bit. And then I noticed that I'd posted print available now, and I got a bunch of messages saying, people panicking that it's only just gone live and they've already missed it. So some of those people might have just gone to bed disappointed, only for it to be released later. I tried to get hold of everyone who contacted me, but I hope I didn't cause any undue panic for some people. Sirius Samus, hello. Lovely to catch a stream in the daytime UK. Lovely to have you here. I don't know, I was thinking about these streams earlier, and while my son's young, this is fine. He's in bed early and he goes to sleep. But when he starts to get a little bit old and running about and full of energy, doesn't want to go to bed and stuff, I'm sure it will happen. These evening streams might be a little bit difficult, but we've got a little while like this. We'll see how they go. But yeah, that was one of the things I did want to do. It was one of the main things I was considering before starting this stream. That it'd be really good to make these streams available for Europeans. I know when I was in the UK, these would have been really beneficial for me. Not that I did much carving in the UK, but I was just a fan back then, just like watching carving videos. It would have been cool to have one of these streams when I was back there. Welcome in, Janine. Did you just find out about this through browsing, or did you see the video, see the link at the end of it? I'm curious to see how many people come in from that video, if we managed to sort of broaden the stream audience. That would be very cool. Lots of people who didn't know I was streaming. I got a few things I need to talk to you about today. Obviously, the thing I've been working on mostly today is getting everything prepared. I also had to update my website, write my own description and stuff. So true, I always try to catch yours and Dave's, but often have to defer to VODs, enjoying the daytime live when I have time. Yeah, I was a VOD watcher too. Hello Willie and Coulter, welcome in. Not always got much time to watch streams during the day. I'm free this week, but I've been watching Dave's, of course, for years. Yeah, a lot of VOD watchers. Obviously, there's lots of people who've been like in this community, sort of like watching all these videos regularly, but they can't watch live, and so the names are a little bit unfamiliar. But welcome in. I don't have to explain anything to you then, you know what's going on here. Of course, this is also your opportunity to talk to a lot of the names that you've been seeing in the chats and stuff. I'm glad some people are finding the evening streams, like, they're finding it good. Because Haunting It is a little bit of an awkward time for me. I'm just the kind of person who's like, it's not just from living in Japan, I was always like that a little bit, like, gotta get there on time, like, when I was in university, first year of university before I relaxed, mellowed out a bit, my friends always used to say, "Look at my watch, let's go," because I was always like wanting to get to parties on time and stuff instead of like fashionably late. And one of my friends was nuts. Just like ridiculous time on that guy. I don't like the idea of lying to people and telling them like a time that's wrong. You know, with some people who are always late, there's an idea that you could like tell them it's an hour, 2 hours before when you're actually supposed to meet at the place. I don't really like that sort of concept, so I tried not to do that, but he was one person that I guess it would have been good. Will you be clearing the block on Twitch? So interesting to see different styles. I've been thinking about, yeah, I don't want to always be doing it because it's the way I clear. It's a lot more intensive. It takes a little bit more time than the way Dave clears it, especially the way Dave clears it on stream. The way he, like the same way we did it as well. When we did that 5-hour stream, I started clearing it properly on stream, and then very shortly it was all systems go and just like clear a little portion around where you need to, just so we can print it. So I think there is value in doing some clearing work on stream. It just means for that stream it's just going to be unbearable for you guys. It's like a whole stream of just like banging. Unless I just quickly did it. But then in that case you guys wouldn't be seeing the actual way I clear. You'd be seeing like sort of a bastardized version of that. So if enough people want me to clear on stream, it might be good just to do the first one on stream, and then for future streams for colour blocks and stuff I won't do it. You call something colour blocks something in the video a few times. Beta blocks, I know that's flat colours. It's called something like that for flattening paper. Is that the idea? No. Beta blocks are not for flattening the paper. They're just, I guess beta just means base. And mostly beta blocks, they get completely covered by other colour blocks usually. On the Nico print, for example, I had 2 beta blocks because there was like all the blue hues and all the brown hues. Oh, Sensei Martian, thank you for the sub. Appreciate it. Arigato. Are you still walking the Kisokaido? Not Kisokaido, where are you now? Izu? Shikoku? Welcome in anyway. So yeah, the beta blocks are mostly there to just kill the white of the paper and provide a base for the colours. Sometimes when you print a colour on its own, if it's not going to be printed really deeply or with a lot of saturation, then it's difficult to get it really smooth. And if you do get it really smooth, the smoothness is not so much the difficulty. You can get it nice and flat and you can get it onto the paper, but it looks really sort of like there's a light colour and then there's sort of washed out colours. And so the beta blocks are there to give colours like that go on top more of a base, and they look like they've got more depth to them, and they don't look like they're underprinted, if you know what I mean, when you have betas under them. So that's the idea for betas. This is one of the biggest things I learned in making that Nico print was the importance of bittas. You don't often see them in the finished print, but if you print those blocks without that bitta, it looks crazy different. It's a really big difference. I did a full loop of Shikoku by walking and local train and got back last week. Oh, you're already finished. Sorry, I haven't been able to catch many of your streams. Maybe we can do a shout out. What is it? / shout out? Can someone shout out Sensei Martian? I don't know the command. I'll try shout out. It's not at, is it? You don't put the at. It's in say underscore. We'll get there. Oh, we did it! Success! That was stressful. It's like underpainting. Exactly, that's the exact concept. To put it in another painting analogy, sometimes when you're doing the really light colours, because we don't use any whites, the lighter a colour gets, it's sort of like just the more water we use. The white comes from the paper, and so it's when we put those colours on the blocks, when we're printing with really light colours, they sort of act a little bit like glazes. You know, have you seen people painting with varnish and really dilute colours, but to create more depth you layer on lots of thin layers of varnish? It's a really old and finicky technique. It just takes lots and lots of times, and often to get like shadows you don't use like the standard colour. You can mix colours in different layers, and so if you wanted a green you could put a thin layer of blue, then you could put a thin layer of yellow on top in these varnish really like sort of transparent glazes. It's that sort of thing. Have your hands full with a lot of stuff, yeah. Actually, recently it's not been so bad. Obviously, being a father and working 2 jobs and streaming, and it can be a lot. But recently it's not been so bad because I haven't had any work from Asuka Sensei, and work from Mokankan, as you guys all know, has not been coming in. I do have some updates on Mokankan work and on Asuka Sensei work, actually. I'll be starting a new project for him. Ooh, it could be any day I can get the call. The next print for Asuka Sensei, I can't talk to it. I'm under NDAs on that, but I can let you know it's another anime one. And it's already been decided. It's just some final touch-ups to the Hanshita, and then it will be all systems carve. What's this? All because of the shortage of printers? Sort of. Actually, my lack of work has been mostly from... well, we're ahead of it right now, but we're still waiting for designs for the next Atelier Center. The printers thing sort of doesn't affect. It does down the line affect my work, but the lack of printers for right now, it determines my work for sure. Like, there's certain projects I can't take on, and we'll get into that a little bit later. because of a shortage of printers. But mostly it's like I just do my work, and when there's printers ready to print my blocks, the blocks can sit there for a year, you know, before they actually get printed, which is not so fun, but it doesn't really affect my work so much. Right now, if there's no printers, I have no job unless I start to print my blocks myself. Dave's about to put you to work on Sunday moving frames. What, from the 3rd floor down in front of the shop, or are you going to be taking us somewhere with him? Mokankan has been accumulating frames, and there's been a couple times where he's managed to shift a load of them. Some of them went to university, and some of them went to, I think they were photographers. Yeah, that's right, photographers. They came and collected a bunch of them. But we keep buying prints, and the frames keep stacking up. I can't collect them too much myself. I'm running out of space. You saw what happened last time I started collecting some frames. So do you get paid for Woodblock itself and then additionally when it gets printed? Currently I'm on salary. Traditionally the system would be, you just, like my work for Asuka Sensor, I get paid for a block set. Sometimes I just carve the key block if there's not much money from the publisher, and sometimes I do the whole block set, and I'll get paid rate on that. Traditionally as well, the more expensive blocks would get the big bucks, and then little colour blocks you don't get so much for them. If you're working in those old type of workshops where even in a single project all the blocks are split up. But nowadays, mostly, a bunch of stuff we'll do with Asuka Sensei. I'll do the key blocks, and then his other apprentices will make a couple colour blocks each type of thing, and he'll do a couple. But typically the system nowadays is one person just does everything. And in those cases, I get paid just for the blocks, yeah. And technically, that's what I'm getting paid for at Mokankan. But I also do a bunch of other stuff. Like tracing will be coming up soon. Just moving upstairs. Okay. And you give some to your friend. Cool. Broken window at the 3rd floor of Mokankan replaced. Yeah, it did that next day. That was really easy. Just like bang out all the old glass, cut some ply, and just like squeeze it into the groove that the glass used to sit in. Not very difficult. Everything went really, really smoothly there. And then I'm here on the other side, other end of the world, having to buy picture frames for my stuff. Yeah, that's a great shame, because some of these picture frames as well are really nice. I got a couple. The one that Sharaku is in is from that collection. I got a couple more in there as well. Yeah, wooden frames with glass. Global logistics. Well, yeah. You just gotta make a trip, buy a ticket, fly over here, get some extra luggage, pack the frames, and then it's a free frame. It's dirt cheap. What's the cost of a ticket nowadays? It can't be much, right? What else? On Thursday, I will be going to Tokumihanga to print the Senshafta prints for my Patreon. So on Thursday, hopefully, if I'm really, really efficient, might be tricky, I could get it done in one day. And if not, it really depends on the number of prints I'm doing. If I'm doing like 40, I think I could get it done in a day. Because it's really small. Putting the pigment on is not very long. I think there's like 3 gradations. But again, like, they're really, really small. Do I have... Oh, I don't have my own one, but I do have this one. This is a print by another carver in town. She's the oldest apprentice of Sekioka. She's called Suga-san. So this is a Senshafta she gave me a couple of years ago. And I had this out because I was looking at dimensions a while back. So yeah, it's only this big. So you can imagine just like little brushes here. It doesn't take very long to print them. But there's quite a few colours on it. With the cost of large frames and framing, it could be a bargain to fly over. I think you're probably still running at a loss there, all things. Trip to Japan is on the wish list. Yeah, funds and time and funds. For me, I don't have either. I will be going to the UK in September, which actually means that these designers need to get a bit of a move on, because I'll need to get all my prints done by... I've got 3 left. The next one's already carved, so that'll be... I'm doing odd months, so I did January, March, May, July, so September and November. So I've got 2 more prints I actually have to carve. So I've already made one. I've got one in the can, so we're a little bit ahead of it. And then I've got 2 more I need to carve. I'll think about that off stream. There's some logistical things there. With me going back to the UK, I'll have to finish my prints, I'm assuming now, before I leave. Which means that I gotta maybe send an email asking for my next designs. How many of you in here are actually ones in the chat if you're subscribed to the Dreams of Future Past? My hubby said that he would invent a teleport system for me. Well, that was 39 years ago, and I'm thinking it's probably not going to happen. Just lazy, isn't it? Just get off your arse and make a teleport system already. So there's a few people in here that are subscribed. How are you enjoying it? Have you got a favourite print in the series so far? What's my favourite? I'm also subscribed to it. I get a carver's copy. Yeah, I get a carver's copy, but I don't get the other ones that are made. So for the series, Mokankan series that I've also taken part in. I've also subscribed to, so that I can, you know, have a set. I need a complete set, obviously. Flooded City's your favourite? What's coming up? Flooded City's nice. I think the first one is one of the stronger images. It's kind of light on the sci-fi. But that's not necessarily a bad thing. Maybe that's just me being biased, because I did a lot of touching up on that one. Because it was sort of setting the parameters. That one had to be... I spent a little bit more time on that, because that was sort of the one that was going to set the tone for the rest of the series, so I had to get that just right. Did make a bit of a mistake on the selection of the wood for that one, if any of you watched the Twitch thing. But also it was like, there was no other wood. I chose what we had. You can do it all if you don't sleep. The actual subscription prints for me, it's like 2 weeks work on those prints, like with weekends and stuff. If there are extra blocks that need to be carved after the fact, and if there's like a lot of touching up I have to do, but the actual carving work itself, the last one, Space Hammer, that was... it's like a couple days carving the key block, and then it's clearing the key block. It's like 5 days for a key block. That's a week. Then all the colour blocks are bang, bang, bang. Yeah, that's a good... that's something different about that series, the Happy Ukes is saying. The colours are not traditional colours at all. You know, the traditional ukiyo-e palette that, for the most part, Mokankan sticks with. Doesn't really deviate from those 7 colours, basically, to mix all the other colours. This one is a little bit different. Which I guess makes sense for the theme. I'm not really in focus there, am I? You guys need to spend your chips, shout at me. I have an earphone in so I can hear you. Are we in focus there? Where should we start? We'll start down here. So, if you've been in the Discord, you will have seen that I was looking for people's ideas on samurai prints. And I'm sure most of you guessed what that was for. I like to have a second project I'm working on at all times. Usually subscription prints, and then you wait for a designer to get back to you, and then you work on something else in the meantime. And that's how the Kamakura print came about. That was exactly the same. That was my side project while I was doing other work. And typically the side projects can be, because there's no deadline on them, you can make more interesting and beautiful prints. And my next one, I suggested to Dave that we do a samurai print, and he agreed. He says lots of people come in the shop all the time asking for samurai prints, and there's just like, there's nothing like that in the Mokankan catalogue. And so he agreed. And then, trying to nail him down on a single print, I suggested, I have a book here that I'd like to show you. We'll do a little bit of a show and tell. I got two really influential books, and I chose the design from this book. So if you also have the book, then I'm not going to tell you what the design is today, which one I chose, but it will appear on the stream. So I'm doing a samurai print. I'm on my phone and struggling to type anything, let alone try and do anything fancy. Emotes are challenging. Good morning, Flyfish. Yeah, if you have to go, enjoy your photo shoot with eagles and herons. I don't know who's paying you for that project. Maybe the magpies helped collect some jewellery. I subscribed. Flooded City was excellent. I'm glad you like it, because that's one of mine. That one changed so much. That one changed a lot. From the initial sketch through to version 1, version you see on the print there, that one changed the most, I think. I do have a video for that one, which I'll be putting out in shorts. I think I talked about it a little while ago. Yeah, well, if you're going now, I can just show them. We're not going to go through them. 2 books. One is on some samurai. It's called 100 Great Samurai. And then the other one is a tattoo book. There you go. We'll talk about these later. We're just going to have a quick flick through. It's not a big show and tell. Still check the VOD though. Tattoo seems good. Yeah, that book has a lot of sentimental value. It's an old book, that one. What else? I have a bunch of other things I wanted to talk about. Usually I write some bullet points on a post-it note, but I don't have them today. We did go for a trip this weekend. We drove only an hour. We drove an hour to this big park in northern Saitama. And there's this... Well, it's really big actually. There's 4 different sections to it. And one section that's got lots of play stuff for kids. Another section has this big bouncy hill type thing, outdoor inflatable hill. And then a bunch of other things around it. So it's like a big park complex, but there's a bus that goes through the park. Anyway, we went to one bit that had an outdoor pool, a really shallow one, and our son went in the pool for the first time. It was so funny to watch him. He was just he couldn't breathe. He was having so much fun. A ninja print will probably do well at Mokankan. Send your suggestions. Put them in the Discord. I'm always on the lookout for prints. I can't think of actually specifically any ninja ones right now. I can let out the cat out the bag that the print will be a Kuniyoshi print. And it was very nearly a Yoshitoshi one, but the printing is a lot. With resources the way as they are right now, not so many printers. To take on a Yoshitoshi project would have been maybe a little bit too much. There's lots of stuff I talk about in that Kamakura print. Atenashi Bokashi. That one's pretty simple because it's just at the top of the block. You just do a round like this. But on those Yoshitoshi blocks, the 100 aspects of the moon and stuff like that, there's lots of areas where it's just a brush paints in here, a brush paints in here, to sort of create mist and shadows. But he's technically got to be one of the best actual designers. His understanding of perspective and he's great. I love Yoshitoshi. Vivid KP's talking about her printing. A4 paper. I'm excited to see your print finally done. Do post updates in the Discord, please. I want to see them. Already excited for this samurai print. I'm so excited. I wanted to make a samurai print. Samurai prints are the prints that got me into Mokuhanga in the first place. So this is really exciting for me. And I've had that book long since I knew how prints were even made. Flyfish is also working on a print. Yes, Taryn, is that, are you supporting my love of Yoshitoshi? or excited about samurai prints. It seems sometimes that there's a really lengthy delay on my stream. I know there's always a delay between the stuff you see and the stuff I'm actually saying in real life. We've got oh yes, Taryn, yeah, the updates, thank you. Is anyone else participating in, what was the exhibit, the contest again? The Awagami contest. Is anyone else submitting a print for that? Anyone else working on some prints at the moment? You guys can't see this at all. Amper mini print. But it is by Awagami, right? Is it past bedtime for Dave? You'll have to ask him on his stream. What time? I don't think so. Although he gets up early. I don't know, you'll have to ask him. I'm not going to comment on his bedtime. He's not quite old enough yet that I have to start like, come on Dave, get to bed. Don't think I want to submit my first woodblock print ever. Yeah, no, that's probably wise. I carved for a year before I made an actual print, so I understand. We're in the same boat, you and I. And even then, I never like printed it. I just made it an image. So I understand how you feel. If you have just tuned in, I'm going to post the link here, just so it's in the chat if anyone is new and don't know what's going on. And the YouTube. So today I released a new YouTube video for a print I made recently. And I actually have a copy here, I can show it. This is the print. It looks really washed out and not very good right here. But I worked on this in the background. This is a sort of a side project for me. This was a side project within a company I was working for, Mokankan. And that's been printed. I made the blocks quite a while ago. And I took a bunch of footage, then I went to Kamakura, took some footage there, and I made a video documenting the carving and the printing, a little bit of the history of the print and how it fits into the sort of printmaking tradition. And just before the stream, that video went live, and so did the purchase page on the Mokankan, which I just linked there. Just if anyone's new here and doesn't understand what's going on. Well, it's past my bedtime. Thanks, Taryn and everyone. I'll watch the rest of the... Yeah, have a night. Good night. Have a night. Have a night. There you go. Pranda from Swansea. Love to see a fellow Welsh person doing something besides male choir. Been loving your videos so far. Well, diolch yn fawr. Thank you. A fellow Welsh person in chat. I haven't done that accent in years. It probably sounded really cringe. Thank you for watching my videos. When I saw Pnawn Da, it took me a little while to figure out what language that was. It's been so long since I spoke Welsh. Na boyo. So I did a South Walian accent there, but I'm guessing... Boyo, you're not a South Walian. You're from the north. So I should have just done my normal accent instead of putting on a flowery twang. Bye for now. See ya. Thanks for tuning in, Flyfish. See you next time. I suppose we all can't leave Wales, move to Japan to do a niche wood carving thing. There's not enough carving jobs in the world for everyone from Wales to move over here. So I say stick with the choir for now. How dare you? I'm a half hour from Cardiff. Okay. There's something about when you say boyo, maybe it's just because I'm used to Gogs saying it. People from the north. But boyo sounds really quite northern. Although I don't know that many South Walians, to be honest. There's mountains right down the centre of Wales. There's big old mountains, and there's no, like... It takes so long. Like, it was always quicker for me to get to London, which is, like, on the map a long way away from North Wales, because I'm right down on the peninsula. It was always quicker to get to London than it was just to get to South Wales. Just because the roads are so narrow and small. I won't say anything bad about the South Walian accent then. Looking forward to the YouTube video at lunchtime today. Oh, you'll catch you later. Are you leaving? Yeah. It took me a little while to figure out what you were saying there. Catch you later. Yeah, have a nice evening. Well, it's morning for you. Have a nice day. It's 3:35 here. Wait a second, where would that be? It's about, I guess the UK is like, what, 2:30 now? Or 3:35, so an hour away. Germany? I'm not sure. It's not an hour away though, is it? It's an hour time difference. Could be anywhere, there's so many countries. Netherlands, okay. I didn't mean to dox you, I was just trying to have some fun. It's 8:36. Where am I? I'm not very good at this. I don't know why I initiated this game. I'm 8:36 a.m. You're in some really obscure country, like on Easter Island or something like that. Where would that be? Chat, put your guesses in. 8:36. It is. What time is it here? What time is it here? It's nearly 11 o'clock here. It's 2:30 in the UK. Somewhere in the US. Central time zone. Well, it's cheating if you're from the same place and you're just looking at the clock on the wall. If you know what time it is, you should keep your mouth zipped for a little bit. If you're in America, you're like, an hour down the road, yeah. Southern US, okay. I should initiate games that I'm going to have like a proclivity to be actually not bad at them. I was never going to do good at this game. I should never have initiated it. Can I get the stream manager back on? So we got like 20 minutes. We'll save like just over 5 minutes at the end, maybe 5-10 minutes at the end. So we'll carve for a little bit. I'll get some actual work done here now, and then we'll look at the books at the end, and I can tell you a little bit more about the projects going on. There's one thing I'm definitely forgetting to mention. wasn't related to the books. I guess it's not very interesting to watch me try and remember something. I'll just forget it. Leave it alone and it'll come home. Yeah, I did just quote Little Bo Peep there. That is dad brain working at maximum. I feel a little bit shocked at myself. It's one of the most uncool things I've said in years. It's brain rot, you know. These songs just play. Like he comes home from school and it's just the same 12 songs over and over again. He loves them. It's actually quite bad practice to keep wiping that. If I didn't have cameras and I wasn't worried about knocking things, I could have my desk a little bit more open. Usually what I do is I keep the brush sort of on the block or just like off the block a little bit. If you're rotating the block a lot, especially with like an Orban, if you leave it on the desk, it tends to knock it and then it falls behind the desk every time you rotate the desk. But good practice. Keep one brush. I have two brushes when I'm printing, because I only have two. I don't really print that much when I'm doing test printing. You'll see in that video actually, this is probably a good point, I print the key block with my black brush. You can see that it's a little bit darky. I haven't fully washed it out. It's mostly washed out. But this is the one I use to do on my key blocks. They're old brushes that printers no longer use. Sort of reclaimed brushes, but they're fine for me. I've dressed them so they're nice and flat now. They were a bit bowed when I got them. Anyway, I always keep two brushes. One of them is for the black, and I only use that for semi. And then I have the other one, which is usually clean, which I use for brushing my block. But when I'm doing blocks like you saw in that video, if you've watched the video, there's one grey sky block that I print the key and then I print the sky block. But I don't need the sky block in full black. And I don't actually want to put full black on the block because it'll never be printed like that. So I used the black brush and this brush. First I put water on and I spread the water with the clean brush, get this nice and saturated. And then I use the black brush that's already just been printed with to like rub just black from this. And I can control really well the amount of black pigment that's getting on the block. So I'm not staining the block too much, and I can control how much ink. If I just put a dollop of ink, it'll just all go black straight away. But I only need it really lightly, so that's the way I do it. This is not something I was taught, this is just my practice, because I had two brushes, but it works really well, and I'd probably advise anyone else to do that. It's really good for test printing, because you don't want to put colour onto your blocks, because if I did put a blue on a block that they wanted to print yellow, then there'd always be a little bit of blue in the wood, particularly blue is like really strong. So it's always a good practice to do your test printing, like you're printing to check that the blocks are registered, and printing for transfers and stuff like that on colour blocks, always do it with black. So the printers have much more freedom then in the future. You can print a yellow on top of a blue, but it can be really iffy sometimes, especially if you print it quite heavily blue. So that's how I do it. So you'll see I just like rub this brush on top, then rub this one to get the right density. Just got that brush onto the block specifically to stop myself doing that, so I can brush it. And I put both the brushes away and start rubbing with my hand again. There you go. I'm off camera again. Comment. I think we'll finish this little spot here. You can't even see them on this one. There's lots of little dots here at the top of that. There's like a little, what do you call it? It's the sporophyte part of the moss. It's a bit like this one up here, but it's... So we'll do this and then we'll move over to the books. Because I've already proven that I have a terrible gauge on how long things are going to take. We'll give it 10 minutes. And I'm sure we'll still go over. It's harder to see after it's carved. This part isn't actually carved. This is just the dots. You can't even see the black pen on. There's like 5 little dots on top of this. Maybe if I put some oil. There's no oil on that bit. And that. Ah, it's on this side. Okay. We'll just carve these little dots now. With little dots, it's really it's not worth trying to carve them super smooth in one motion. You see when I do like these tight curves like this, you'll see I'll try and get the curve in like two strokes instead of feathering all the way down. I'll try and then I'll reposition, I'll do it again. But with these little dots, if you try that approach and try and do halfway around, almost certainly the knife will break. So we don't want to do that. Just lots of little cuts. Shoop, 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 all the way around. It's not actually so fun for you guys to watch because you can't even see the lines on the block. For me as well, once I put those cuts in and that paper is sort of crinkled up a bit, I can't see. Those are very good. I've killed a few tips on those little dots. Yeah, you got to be careful. The key on these is just small little cuts to so what am I doing there? So it's four little cuts down each side, and it's difficult to show. What I'm doing is just that on each cut. That's the only movement I'm doing in my knife. So it's cut across and just a little tweak each time to sort of curve over, but it's going the other way. To curve that tip a little bit. But if you curve it too much, that's the tip of your knife gone every time. And then we're done. Just take that piece out the middle. And I will be extra careful and clear around that with the ice ski a little bit later. Usually we don't make relief cuts, but I will go around this really carefully. But we're going to run out of time. I said I'd give us 10 minutes and I started those dots. Let's go to the face. Let's put this block down. Couple books. Where's my lens? Let me just change the lens. We're okay. It's just a cap. Okay. Where's my mouse? Back to the block. A little show and tell time. I don't usually do show and tell bits, but here we are. I have 2 books to show you today. Both of them I got in my mid-teens, I guess. Like, not mid-teens, early teens. I would have been maybe 12, 13, somewhere around there. Well, I got this one first, and then later I got this. I don't know where I got it. I don't know why I got it. but I did get this one. I was into samurai a lot when I was a kid. Usually when you say you're into Japan, nowadays people mean you're into anime and, you know, the future tech of Japan. Living here, it's not always so future techy. But the image you have of Japan is like robots and stuff like that. Anyway, I was into samurai and Japanese carpentry and stuff like that. I was a bit of a weirdo. But I really, really loved samurai. And I used to do Iaido for a little bit. Iaido is like, you all know of Kendo. That's the one where they wear the armour and they hit each other with bamboo swords. Iaido is when you have just a bokken, which is just like a wooden stick when you're practicing, and then you get a real sword. But it's not got like a full tang. So they have like a rat tail tang, it's called. So the handle is not, so you can't sharpen it and turn it into a deadly weapon. The handle would just break if you really smack things with it. Anyway, I used to do Iaido, and it's sort of like all the katas. It's a little bit like meditation meets martial arts, but just like doing everything perfectly. Little flicks and art of drawing the sword. And used to wear full hakama and do that. So I really like samurai. So much that I went out my way and found the only place in North Wales that was doing these classes. And I did that for a while. And I got this book. And it's two main series. One is the 47 Ronin. And then the other one is called The Heroic Biographies from Tale of Grand Pacification, 50 prints. And then the 47 Ronin is sort of counterintuitively 51 prints. There's a few extra characters in that. Let me zoom in a little bit and I'll flick through this while I talk. Is that an okay angle? So I just used to flick through this book an awful lot as a kid. I really enjoyed these prints. I had no idea about how they were made at that point. I had no idea they were even woodblock prints. Well, it says in the book. I guess I knew that. But I didn't understand what that meant in concept, you know. I just took it at face value and like, these are cool. And mostly I knew this style in relation to the other book, which is about Inezumi tattoos. My father helped one of his friends, the guy who did my first tattoo actually, did a lot of mine actually. He helped him set up that shop. This is really cool. I thought about doing this one. Technically, it's for an ukiyo-e. The layering and the way this is made, it's really interesting. But it's a little bit too gory for Dave, I guess. But a really, really technically interesting print. You can't see maybe so clearly. So yeah, I was interested in Japanese tattoos from that history. I'm just going to flick through this first one and then I'll show you a couple of my favourites. Itabokashi. There is lots of itabokashi in that. All the clouds on the outside here, they all have itabokashi. Itabokashi is where usually when we carve we have a sharp edge on them. If you smooth over, sand over those edges, it creates sort of a fuzzy edge to that line. And these clouds all have itabokashi on them. I can zoom in, sorry. 1 point. I can't get any closer than that. And I'll focus. You can see they all sort of have a bit of a fuzzy edge to them. Technically, a very interesting print to reproduce, that one. So, I like it. I wonder if people make depictions of the past Taira and Minamoto story. Almost certainly. I'm not sure which story you're actually... The Taira... Is that Heike? Is that the Heike Monogatari? Taira Minamoto. What is that from? Ah, Taira Minamoto is just... Yeah, I know that one. Ginpei. They certainly are. I can't think of which one they are. When you look at so many samurai prints, like the last few days that I've looked through thousands of samurai prints, and they've all sort of just merged all together. I see artists now, and I see samurai. So I'm going to go through these first 50, and then I'll choose some of my favourite, because these are all great. These have more of a background, but his most iconic series for me is the 47 Ronin, this one, the Faithful Warriors. This particular series, I think he did it maybe like 13 different series, maybe even more. I can't remember how many Kuniyoshi did. But he did a lot. But the one that's in this book is really like peak Kuniyoshi. And he's the best at doing warrior prints, arguably. Yeah, Kuniyoshi has lots of images with... He does a lot of Chinese warriors as well. And so you'll see that lots of them don't have the curved swords. Lots of them have... Even the image I did for the Hokusai Reborn series, that's the classical style to depict like a Chinese style sword before they started curving them. Someone's asking here, is the writing all carved? Yeah. So the writing is part of the key block, the thing that you just saw me carving before. The writing is on the same block as this hair here, for example. So I'll be choosing one of these prints. I've already chosen. I'm in the process. This one was actually suggested by someone in the Discord. And I said it was a bit gory because I thought that these were severed heads. And then I noticed actually after that their feet are still attached. So I think they're just... Maybe it says. Let me read it. In a legendary battle, Samurai Hayashi Hanshiro is shown carrying two fully armoured opponents off the battlefield, squeezing them so violently that they're turning grey from suffocation. So he's just carrying them off. They were... I thought they were severed heads, but they weren't. 3 feet, 4 heads. Doesn't quite add up, you know. But there's a lot of funny anachronisms like that in Japanese prints, and you learn to love them. We're going to go on a little bit later today, I guess. Flick through. If you see one that you really like, I can stop. This was another one up for consideration, just because it's like a really classical samurai. It's not really too dynamic, but if you're looking for a samurai print and you're looking for a samurai, maybe that is the type of thing you're after. And then there's a bunch of guns, big guns, a bunch of fighting, and that's the first set. And then this is his most iconic set, and I just want to show you a few of my favourites and a few that are up for consideration. This time I'm not doing one from this series. It will be one from the first 50. And actually the next project that I'll be working on, you've already seen the print for. We've gone past it. But this series here, you can always tell if you're looking out for 47 Ronin prints, if you ever see this pattern kimono, the black with the white and the black triangles on the haori or the kimono, this means that it's from the 47 Ronin. And it's not just Kuniyoshi. Anyone who's doing pictures from the 47 Ronin, they'll always have that pattern on them somewhere. This is a scene from the attack, and they're all wearing the same black. Are there any with big flags on their back? Yes, there are. In fact, it's on the next page. It's not a big flag. The flags get much bigger. But he has one. Where are my favourites? This guy. I really love this one. A lot of the other ones, they have really intricate patterns. And I really like the intricate patterns I want to show off with my carving all beautiful characters, and making all these patterns in the clothes. But this guy, the kimono sort of covers all his clothing, hiding all the patterns except just this leg. But the pose is so iconic, and the hair would be really fun to carve on this one. It's really tasty hair on this one. But Dave's initial reaction was too much writing. He's not a big fan of all the writing here, and I don't think he likes the story of the 47 Ronin, to be honest, which I understand. Anyway, that's another one I really like, and this one I'm a big fan of. This is really cool. The black and white dazzle camouflage. Is that true? This is talking about war. I'm not sure they understood dazzle camouflage back in the Edo era. Well, this is what, 1700s? I don't know. Maybe not. If that's true, that's very cool. I'll have to look into that a little bit deeper. Where is it? Where's the one? This one. This is one of my favourites. This was under serious consideration. So I made a short list after sending about 20 images that we could use. After scrolling through thousands, I selected a couple. And this was up for consideration, as well as the spear guy, and this one I really like as well. Anyway, there's lots of these prints. I'm just going to go through them. If you like samurai, there's not much description. There's like little blurbs at the bottom of each one, but the point is just to look. This is a cool one too. Just to look at some cool samurai. They've got the names, and then you can do some more research into them. I love this book. This is one of the first things I ever got that showed me woodblock prints in real life, and I had no idea when I got this that this would lead me to a life making woodblock prints in Japan, but it did. And this was the book I inherited from my father, or I think there was a book. I was told about this book, and I think the other guy, somebody had kept it, so I bought myself a second copy. I can't remember. Maybe I bought them at the same time. If you like Japanese tattoos, obviously the traditional Japanese tattoos are all inspired from ukiyo-e. If you like Japanese tattoos, this one is a really cool book. Where are some of the... I'll just pick a nice page. There's lots of bottoms and willies. So if you... Yeah, I won't show that. There's a snake, yeah. Oh, I'm going to get demonetized on Twitch, aren't I? Maybe I should just flick through it. Let me just pick one nice page. There we go. Anyway, I used to flick through this a lot. And this is sort of the beginnings of why I'm here now. Because I kept looking at this type of stuff and I enjoyed it. and now I'm a professional woodblock print carver. We've gone 10 minutes over, I think that's okay. And this one was actually a tattoo my father had. He had this tattoo. So I'll leave you there. And one day I'll get my bodysuit done. When I got some money and I get a little bit more in shape. Let's take a quick look and see if I've missed any messages. How the heck did these books wind up in North Wales? There's so much more than I was expecting. I think I must have bought them online. Yeah, I didn't find them in a random bookshop. Yeah, this one was my dad's, and then the other one I think I bought online specifically because I like samurai. We've seen that print. Oh, yeah. The one in the front of that book, right, with the 47 Ronin. He was talking about the perspectives in it. Yeah, you saw that one. Book was bought from Kinokuniya. No, this was long before I came to Japan. I think we'll leave it there. If you haven't seen my YouTube video and have liked what you've seen here today, please go watch that video. If lots of people watch it at the beginning, it's good for the algorithm, I'm told. I spent a long time on it. It's not perfect, but I think it's okay. There's some interesting stuff there. Did you know that Shinhanga was started by a Brit and now it was reproduced by a different Brit? That's it. I'm not going to raid today. I'm going to drop you the link for the Kamakura. There are not many copies. If you are interested in getting a copy of this print, it's just gone live like an hour and a half ago, maybe 2 hours ago now, and there's not so many. So if you do want it, I'd move quickly. Kamakura. Here is the note. Kamakura. There is the link to the page, and here is the YouTube link. You can check my new video there, and you can buy the print at that link. Your videos on YouTube are really great. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. I'm sorry I don't post more frequently. I'm very busy, and those take an awful long time to make. And I'm really bad at the voiceovers, and it drives me nuts. I want to just do it, and I don't feel like I'm very charismatic on them, but we get better bit by bit. I'm sorry that the first scene in that video is out of focus. Enjoy watching the video. I'm going to stop rambling now. No raids. We're done. Arigatou gozaimasu. Minasan, hontou ni arigatou gozaimashita. Thank you. See you on Friday. Bye. Over.
とてもサンキュー。